Welcome to Greggles TV Daily. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We spoke about the Galaxy Z Flip 6, and we know that it's going to be an upgrade in some areas, and then in some areas, it might not be an upgrade. It might be more of the same. And I've spoken about some of the upgrades already. So some of this stuff not so new, but I did want to go through it again because there's a rumor again, this time from the Galox, which he's got a good track record. Sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he's pulling, a lot of it is just pulling information from other people, but I still wanted to go through it, talking about some of these things in here, such as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy, which is a dead giveaway, obviously that will happen. A bigger cooling system, which should happen because of the fact that the S24 Ultra has a bigger cooling system. Now this is where it gets a little controversial. Not the 6.7 inch inner display, that's probably correct. The 3.9 inch outer display, which would be bigger than what they currently have. I think the current one is 3.6. That rumor has been flip-flopping between 3.6 and 3.9, which again, 3.9 would be a fairly different size difference, bigger. I would hope it would be the bigger. I mean, I always want a bigger display, so it'd be really cool if they can actually make that happen. On the back, you'd get the 50 and 12 megapixel cameras, which probably correct. 4,000 milliamp battery, which would be bigger battery, which would be nicely received, and I think they'll do that. The improved hinge and internal layout, which is probably correct as well. They seem to do that on every iteration of these folding and flip phones. Gorilla Glass armor, which is probably correct. 7 years of updates, which is also probably correct because of the way they've done that with the S24 line. Galaxy AI, which will definitely come to it. And then the 12 gigs of RAM. They've been stuck on 8 gigs of RAM for a bit. It would be nice to see them go in there with 12 gigs of RAM. That remains to be seen, but it would be a nice little get for them to get to really extend the life of these somewhat flagship phones for the Galaxy Z Flip line. Now, our last story has to do with the Google Pixel Fold 2, which in a lot of people's eyes are really making the difference in terms of changing and making the right changes versus their competitor, the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and 6 and OnePlus Open. It looks like Google's really going to make some headway here, and there's a couple of things that have just come out. One of these, actually all this information today is coming from Mr. Ross Young, who's saying that the leaks on the Pixel Fold 2 don't have the display sizes correct. They're actually bigger. Remember, it used to be 7.9 and 6.4. It's now 8.02, which is a little bit bigger, let's be honest. Not hugely different, but it is a little bit bigger for the foldable display. And then on the outside, 6.29, which is smaller than the 6.4 we've been hearing for that cover display. Panel production starts in April. It is coming. Now, what do we take from this? Well, you're getting a huge inside display. Absolutely massive. Bigger than this. It is supposed to be a squared display, so it's going to look square. It's going to be wide again on the inside display. This is a OnePlus phone, but it's going to be wide. So you've got all that going for it or against it, depending upon how you look at it. I just, when companies make these massive displays on these phones, I love it. I really, really love it. And the reason I love it is for multitasking. It makes it much more enjoyable for gaming, for social media, for looking at photos, for watching videos. That's the main reasons I really, really love it. I can understand people not loving it because it's harder to fit in your pocket sometimes, it's heavier, things like that. So it makes sense, but maybe this will be lighter and maybe not as wide, but I think it's still gonna be pretty wide. The other part of this is saying that the production of the display starting in April. That makes me think, are we gonna see this phone in July, in the summertime? It wouldn't surprise me, which at the end of the day, there's been rumors that this is gonna have a Tensor G4 processor, but I don't know if the Tensor G4 processor will be ready in the summertime if this phone is released in there. We've heard it might be released in October, which would put it in line with the Tensor G4. Is it G5 then? I don't even remember. I'm drawing a blank. Regardless, you want the newest Tensor processor in there, and this might still be the same generation as the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro on there. If it's like that, if it releases earlier than the Pixel 9 and 9 Pro. So, man, it's a little bit of give and take again if they do this. Hopefully they improve like everything about the phone. It's a great phone, the Pixel Fold. I still like the phone, but then jumping from to the Z Fold 5 and then the OnePlus Fold, it felt a little bit dated in a way. It's really, really heavy as well. So I hope they get that weight down and the wideness of the inner display. This is the OnePlus Fold, but I want them to get the wideness way down on there as well. What do you want to see improved on the Pixel Fold 2? Let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day and we'll see you down the road. Peace.